Tonight, Donald Trump is under historic legal pressure, and it increasingly appears that partisan talking points aren't going to help him. Indeed, they may undermine his own case when it comes to the Mueller investigation. With me now is Eric Boehlert, a senior writer at Share Blue Media and a longtime Fox News critic, and Malcolm Nance, MSNBC terrorism analyst. Eric, Malcolm, great to have both of you with us. Let me begin with you. Your reaction to President Trump's interview there and that echo chamber that we just outlined.
Yeah, the interview itself wasn't that surprising. A lot of wallowing, a lot of self-pity. It was kind of a disaster. You know, I can't imagine there were 5 Republicans running for Congress who saw that interview and said, okay, White House has this under control. They have a plan. There's a communication strategy. Complete disaster. But the important part is the one you mentioned. We've crossed another line in terms of Fox News and in terms of the Republican relationship. We have Trump regurgitating misinformation he hears from Fox back to Fox News.
Yeah.
For decades, for years and decades, Fox News, or the Republican Fox News created the misinformation, and then the Republicans would work with them. Now we have Trump just regurgitating it back to them. We hit a new dimension in this kind of closed loop echo chamber.
What does it say to you that he's adopted his legal strategy from Fox News?
Yeah. Well, he's grasping to anything that sounds good, right? And particularly Fox in the prime time, it's all about making Trump feel better. So they have on Alan Dershowitz. Sean Hannity pretends he understands the law. And they tell him exactly what they want to hear. You're getting, this is a conspiracy. They're making up charges. Cohen agreed to crimes that don't exist, as if that's how it happens in state and federal court. So it's amazing. It's amazing. And again, what's really unusual here is he is just feeding back into the same loop. It's unprecedented.
Malcolm, let me ask you about the South Africa story, because I know that was something that I saw you today on Twitter very impassioned about. You had Senator Bob Corker saying that this was something that was a base stimulator. What was the significance of what President Trump tweeted out? I mean, how do you read that tweet?
Well, if that's a base stimulator, then his base is the white supremacist base. That story has been bandied about for some time amongst a white South African neo-Nazi group that says that there are these horrific attacks against farmers. Well, if anyone's ever been to South Africa, and I worked there in a security environment, you know that country is primarily an agrarian country with a 40% unemployment rate of the almost 45 million blacks who were there. That's 20 million people with no jobs. The crime rate there in certain places is horrific. Crime out in rural areas happens. But to say that white farmers specifically are being targeted, and as this group calls it, white genocide, and projecting that through Fox News to the President of the United States, to the Secretary of State to look into it, to do something about it, you've essentially, as the government of South Africa said, have gone back way before 1994 when apartheid ended. You've gone back to an argument literally made by the Boer Voortrekkers, who of course, invaded and took that country. And it's absolutely, fantastic that the President of the United States would suddenly use that, unless it was a distraction.
Yeah, that is a very valid point as well, Malcolm. Let me play you this, because you brought the issue of how Alan Dershowitz and others on the right-wing media, that the president then adopts their talking point. Watch this montage.
Barack Obama, who received $2 million in illegal campaign contributions.
If you look at President Obama, he had a massive campaign violation.
Every candidate violates the election laws when they run for president.
Almost everybody that runs for office has campaign violations.
His close friendship, also a mandatory disqualification. His close friendship with Comey.
When you see Mueller with the conflicts, he's so conflicted. Comey's his best friend.
All right, so how is the right-wing media here influencing the president? I mean, we put a little montage, but it goes deeper than that.
They are the presidency. I mean, when we talk about the Fox News presidency, there is no acting president, right? The West Wing is essentially vacant. Fox News is generating these narratives, these storylines, and then there's just a feedback loop. I have to say, though, I'm not sure it's working that well this week. Tuesday, with the blockbuster revelations, there was reporting that the White House was stunned by the Michael Cohen revelations. And so the strategy is always run on Fox News, we'll ride this out, we We have our base. I don't see this as being contained this week. And, Cohen and Manafort were supposed to be subplots to the big story, the Mueller report. If this is how they're dealing with the Cohen story, when the Mueller report could be 5-10 times worse, I don't think just hanging around Fox News is going to get them through a major crisis.
Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out. Eric, Malcolm Nance, thank you very much for joining us. Sorry, we're running a little bit out of time, guys. It's a fascinating conversation.